We shall discover Z within 2 months. Those were Colonel Percy Fawcett's final written words from Dead Horse Camp on the Rio Verde. No one knows for certain what happened next. No frantic cries for help. No farewell letters. The jungle simply swallowed their traces. What followed became the greatest mystery of the 20th century. Born in Torquay, England in 1867, Percy Harrison Fawcett grew up on stories of empire and adventure, told by his army officer father. At 17, he enrolled at the Royal Military Academy in Woolwich, mastering surveying and map-making with near-perfect precision. His steady hand and keen eye for detail won him rapid promotion, and by 1906, the Royal Geographical Society tapped him for the Brazilian Boundary Commission. Little did he know that mapping South America's borders would ignite a lifelong obsession with a lost civilization he would call Z. In the sweltering heat of Brazil's Mato Grosso plains, Fawcett encountered a world of tangled vines and rivers that shifted with each rain. His Kalapalo and Bororo guides spoke in hushed tones of earthen mounds, rectangular platforms rising above the canopy like forgotten altars, and of corridors of stone linking vanished settlements. One evening, an elder named Taylog told Fawcett of a secret ceremony beneath a moonlit clearing where masked priests danced around pillars of white clay. Fawcett noted every word, convinced these oral histories pointed to a great city swallowed by the forest, Z. Back in London, Fawcett laid out sketches of geometric earthworks, shards of painted pottery, and transcriptions of tribal legends before skeptical academics. He argued that the Amazon was not an untouched wilderness, but once the cradle of complex societies. He envisioned broad plazas, paved roads, and towering temples, an empire rivaling the classical world, hidden for centuries beneath layers of leaf litter. Critics dismissed his theory as romantic fiction. Fawcett countered simply, if a single city of stone existed, surely many more wait to be found. Between 1906 and 1920, Fawcett mounted 6 expeditions that tested the limits of human endurance. Torrential rains turned trails into rivers. Blistering heat invited swarms of biting insects. Fevers claimed porters by the dozen. In one harrowing incident, Fawcett and his men encountered a flooded tributary. As their canoe overturned, they clung to logs for hours before reaching shore, drenched and exhausted. Yet even as the jungle ground them down, Fawcett's resolve only hardened. He wrote in his journal, "Each trial reveals a new clue. The forest may kill us, but first, it must yield its secrets." In December 1924, at age 57, Fawcett prepared his boldest venture. He recruited his 22-year-old son, Jack, brimming with youthful energy, and Raleigh Rymel, Jack's lifelong friend and fellow adventurer. They packed essentials, chronometers, sextants, rifles, tins of preserved beef, and blocks of chocolate, alongside more personal items, Jack's pocket diary and Fawcett's treasured compass. In January 1925, the trio sailed from Hoboken, New Jersey, their spirits high. From Manaus, they would penetrate the uncharted West, seeking the city that beckoned to them from every map's blank edge. By late March, they reached Dead Horse Camp, so named for the 6 mules that lay carcasses, victims of the jungle's unrelenting humidity. There, Fawcett penned his last letter to Nina, his beloved wife. "My dearest Nina, the river leads onward. and I am more certain than ever that Z awaits us. Pray for our swift success." He entrusted the note to a courier bound for Manaus. After that, silence. In the years that followed, expeditions fanned out across Mato Grosso in search of Fawcett's trail. Some claimed to find his footprints in the mud. Others reported seeing glints of metal, perhaps a rusted compass or knife blade. A few missionaries spoke of hearing Fawcett's voice on moonless nights, calling for help in Portuguese. Tales emerged that he chose to vanish, embraced by tribes who honored him as a wise elder. Yet despite dozens of search parties, no definitive evidence ever surfaced. The final fate of Z and its seekers remains one of history's most tantalizing enigmas. Today, satellite imagery and LiDAR technology have revolutionized Amazonian archaeology. In 2018, researchers using LiDAR identified over 200 square miles of earthwork complexes, ringed enclosures, straight causeways, and agricultural terraces, signs of societies housing tens of thousands. These findings validate Fawcett's core belief. The forest once rang with the bustle of cities, not just the cries of howler monkeys. Though these earthworks lack the gilded temples of legend, they underscore a humbling truth. The Amazon's past was far more populous and organized than anyone dreamed. On his fourth expedition, Fawcett visited Beija-Flor, a remote village where inhabitants greeted him with steamed manioc cakes and garlands of vibrant orchids. That night, the villagers performed a ritual dance around a fire built atop a stone platform, one that matched Fawcett's sketch of a ceremonial mound. The platform's edge bore carvings of jaguars and serpents, motifs he later found echoed in earthworks hundreds of miles downstream. Sitting by that fire, Fawcett whispered to Jack, "We are on the cusp of rewriting history." Why did Fawcett devote 4 decades to chasing a legend many dismissed as fantasy? In letters to Nina, he confessed, "I cannot rest while the heart of the Amazon beats hidden beneath my feet." He learned indigenous languages, Tupi, Kalapalo, Bororo, and adopted survival techniques from local hunters, fashioning uniforms from palm fiber and treating wounds with herbal poultices. He defended tribal lands against rubber barons, earning the trust and admiration of communities who saw in him both a protector and a seeker of truth. Recall the final dispatch. "We shall discover Z within 2 months." That promise remains unfulfilled. The coordinates he gave point to a region dense with mounds and fortified ditches, but no golden city. Instead, modern explorers find silent stone circles and truncated causeways, artifacts of a civilization lost to time. In that gap between promise and reality lies the true mystery. Was Fawcett's Z ever more than an idea born of hope and hearsay? Or does it still lie undetected beneath unbroken canopy? Percy Fawcett's disappearance did not end his story. It immortalized him. His daring spirit inspired filmmakers, writers, and modern archaeologists to challenge assumptions about the Amazon. When new clearings appear on LiDAR scans, researchers whisper of Fawcett, as if he still guides their instruments. His enduring question, "What else waits to be discovered?" echoes through every unexplored tributary. If Colonel Fawcett's quest has sparked your imagination, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Share your theories below. Do you believe Z is real, or merely a legend? Join us next time as we venture deeper into history's greatest enigmas.